What's kind of been your impressions of the defensive line the first weekend?
Yeah, I'm really encouraged. Obviously, Riley, Nana, Howard, Gabe, some real veterans in there. Vitello came on at the end of the year. He's carrying forward. Junior obviously played for us late in the year, which is awesome too. So Baptiste has been a really great addition, welcome addition. Love his attitude, and then we need some, that next generation of guys to really step up. Anye and Ford and Heinisch and those guys. So really excited about the way they're working on the field and off the field, meeting with Coach Extra and doing whatever they need to do.
And then you mentioned Vitello. I guess that step forward at the end of last year, has he kind of carried that over so far?
Yeah, I think it's helped. He's bigger, he's stronger. He's had a good off season. Again, the biggest thing with Jordan is just do your job. Don't make it more than it is. Play with poise, play with discipline, stay within the structure, and execute. He has enough talent that if he does that, he'll make a lot of plays for us.
It's kind of the mental approach of the defensive line room as they embrace the challenge of replacing production from Foskey and the Demi Lowell brothers.
It's been a cumulative effort. Coach Wash has been working like crazy around the clock, whether it's getting them tips or making cut-ups for them. So they can do a lot virtually. If they're in between classes, they can look at their iPad and see the notes and know what they need to do the next time they get together. So, and their effort on the field has been good. So we've been rolling guys through there. We've been changing the depth a lot, rolling guys through there. We're not settling into anything at any position right now. And Wash has done an awesome job with them.
We ask players all the time how they want to improve from one year to another, but what about a coach, especially an experienced one like you? How do you approach a second year of a new program? The
biggest change for me this offseason was to look at the opponents first and then plan, then chart the course. Last year, I probably had, it was probably 2 working weeks, with a spring break, so 3 total from the time I landed here to spring football. So it was really challenging. So for me, I learned a lot just by quality control myself. What defenses we need, what didn't we call that maybe we practiced, what do we need more of, what showed up in the game plans consistently throughout the year. And obviously I watched some of the opponents ahead of time, so have a real good grasp of what we need, what we don't need, and just trying to keep it as tight as we can from a package standpoint.
Al, what captures your attention during spring practice?
Consistency probably does, as mundane as that sounds. Like, it's really hard when there's not, the light at the end of the tunnel or the pot of gold there, if you will. But, the guys that consistently prepare, invest, and then do it physically on the field day in and day out. Because it's hard. It's hard, Tomorrow they have to get the next install, which are a lot bigger, they're more sizable than in the season, because we're trying to put a whole season's worth of defense in, and then have recall when we get to the season. So for these guys, we're building a menu that they can choose off of later on. So I would say the consistency of approach, day in and day out, and then that's really imperative on Friday, Saturday. You're off the field Friday, and then you got to turn around and get back on there Saturday. So the guys that can do that consistently, be a pro, if you will, are the ones that capture my admiration.
And if you can give us some additional insight into spring practice, is it really about the fundamentals, or are you still looking at the fall?
No, it's fundamentals are key right now. Really, just what are our practice standards? What does a head coach want in terms of our effort and attitude, in terms of our finish, in terms of ball security or ball disruption, tackling, breaking tackles, all those things. We're really just harping on the off days. We're just, doing a 12, 15-minute review on the off day and just make sure that there are certain fundamentals that bind us all together on defense. And in that, there is no gray area. There is no other way to say it than the way we say it and the way we perform it and the way we want to execute on a daily basis.
Coach, what's been the difference or what's the advantage of having an experienced linebacker group this season?
Well, they just, it's almost like being in the NFL in the sense that they give you ideas and they share with you where their eyes are and what they see on certain plays. And sometimes you adapt how you coach things or how you teach things or even how you change calls based on their strengths. So from that standpoint, their feedback is always welcome. We really let them talk a lot and contribute a lot in the meeting rooms, and that helps a lot. And then the other thing is, secondhand coaching. They're constantly giving feedback to the younger guys, even when me, Max, and Mike aren't around. They're giving feedback, and so they're always getting coaching from the older guys, which helps a lot.
What's excited you about the defense so early on in spring practice this year?
Just again, their approach has been great. Their effort, their approach every day, and their preparation. Our MEs are down. We're really getting better at the fundamentals. I could see it all over the field. The secondary communication has been really good. That's been, one of our chief priorities going into this spring with DJ and Ramon and X, especially just getting them to communicate, be audible, be demonstrative. They've been awesome. Just different techniques with the corners. They've responded really well and are challenging. So I can go on and on, but just in general, it's just been the approach, the energy to come into the meeting room at 7:05 and to present something and see those eyes, see everybody on the edge of their seat, see their eyes locked in and tracking you and trying to get better, man. That fires you up as a coach.
Coach Freeman going through his second spring now and entering his second year as a head coach. How have you seen him change as a coach at all from year one?
Well, it's slowing down. He hasn't said that, but I could see everything just slows down. Year one, if you could imagine, just all the places that he was pulled last year. I think everything's slowing down for him, and I think we all feel his personality right now. We all know exactly what he wants in every aspect of the program, and I think he's really clear. He's always been clear. It's just everybody's hearing the message repetitively now and consistently, and so he makes it really easy to give him what he wants, and I think that's a sign of a great leader. And as I told you, I think he's awesome. I think he's the guy that's going to take us where we want to go. He just every day he's got a vision for the program. He's really clear, cares like crazy about the kids. Not just on the field. I'm talking about in the classroom, in the community, all of those aspects. So. Can't hide that. That's who he is on a daily basis. So from that standpoint, that would be the biggest difference.
One or two more.
What have you seen from the early enrollees, Drake Bowen and Jaden Osbury so far?
Yeah, good. They're doing all those guys are doing a good job. Again, it's a lot. It's a little bit easier. The season actually is easier because you really just whittle it down. But when you're building the menu that you're going to use throughout the whole season, it can get, the volume can get big. And it is right now. So some of it's running together. We got to get those guys calmed down a little bit and play a little bit more quiet. And then we just try to keep it a little simpler when they're in there so they can play faster. So let's develop the fundamentals and the techniques, and then we'll catch up on the football in the summer and then preseason camp.
And then how has Benjamin Morris kind of handled his success last year and taking it into
Same guy every day. I can hear him, I can hear him next door with Mick all the time, all those guys, but specifically when you address Ben, he's the same guy every day. He's competing. He wants that challenge. He wants the sombrero on him, and he's up to the challenge, and it's been fun being around him. He's finding little ways to improve in every aspect of his game, and that's a sign of a great one.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we ready?
Nolan, what's kind of been like the last year been like for you, just going through freshman year and now into your second spring?
No, it was a grind. Grinded through playbook, being on scout team, school, but you push through it and you should enjoy every day with it, and just making progress. It'd be great.
And then what position are you currently working at right now?
Right now, I've worked the most at Mike, a little bit of Will, mostly Mike though.
And then how's that adjustment been? Just because I know in high school you played basically everywhere. What's it kind of like playing inside?
It's definitely different. You don't have all the free space, so you got to be just your feet, be quicker in the box. But I think I've adjusted to it great. With my coaches, Coach Golden, Coach Max, all the older guys are helping me a lot, and so I think it's been pretty smooth.
And then what's Coach Max been like just as a coach since he's gotten here?
Oh yeah, he brings the juice every day. He's out there. You can hear him coaching it up. Takes his job very seriously, and I love Max.
Second year with Coach Golden now. How's that relationship with you personally and kind of with the position group as a whole? How's that relationship with Coach Golden grown now into the second spring?
We definitely, it's definitely grown. He knows all about the game. I'm learning things from him every day. He's a pro level coach, so I just try to take everything day by day that he's coaching me about and just implement it out on the field.
You mentioned the one benefit to having experienced linebackers in the room is that they get to give him ideas. How has that helped you as a young player kind of learn the schemes here and especially learn different positions within the linebackers?
Yeah, I'd say when the older linebackers are, we're having that talk in the film room, you start to learn the why behind the defenses, which helps you understand it and help you play more free out there. And so I really enjoy having all the Jack, JD, Marist, and Prince all in the film room.
Nolan, what do you need to do during spring to make sure you see the field this year?
I'd say just working on my technique, just getting the playbook, mastering it, so I can play free, fly around, just not have to think out there.
You mentioned technique. Where have you improved in that area?
I'd say just using my hands inside the box, just recognizing different keys, different tendencies, and yeah, it's just different. It's different playing in space inside the box. So just working on my footwork, just different techniques inside the box.
Obviously, spring ball is a little bit different than fall camp. What is, I'll say, the hardest thing about going through the spring schedule right now?
I'd say, I'd say going to school exams, then having crunching film, and then and just a continuous grind. It's just football, film, school. Yeah, so I'd just say that's probably the hardest part about it.
Let's get one more from Nolan, please. We're good. But if you guys don't have any other football one, I'll go the opposite. What's the most fun thing about spring? If there's a football question, you can take that.
Most fun thing? I'd say just competing every day, against your guys, being able to go live go against the guys, 1s versus 1s, 2s versus 2s. So I love it. I love the competition.
Perfect. Thanks, Nolan.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Marist, what's the benefit of being in a defense for 2 years in a row?
Just the ins and outs of the defense, and you're able to play fast, and each install of the playbook isn't new to you, so that helps a lot.
And then what's it been like working with Coach Bola over the first week of practice?
It's been great. We learned a lot from him so far. He's a really great guy, so we're excited to have him here.
Second year with Coach Golden, how has that relationship with the whole defense, or more specifically just the linebackers, how has that relationship grown now heading into a second year?
It's grown a lot. We know who he is, what he expects, so there's less of confusion between that in that aspect, but we know what Coach wants from us, and we just got to get what's done.
Marist, as a veteran, do you feel more of a responsibility this spring to lead?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I need to lead. I challenge myself to be a better leader every day, whether it's the linebackers or anyone else on the team.
Tell us about your leadership style. What comes easy and what are you working at right now in terms of leadership?
Something that comes easy is showing people through my actions of what's right and what I expect of them. Something that I need to work on is being more vocal for sure.
What have you kind of seen from the young guys like Drake and Jaden and Preston so far?
Seen that they came in a lot stronger than I was, but they're all really great athletes and just big dudes who can play linebacker well.
Anything else from Marist? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Prince, how's your spring going?
It's going pretty well. Just working on improving.
Where have you improved the most since last season?
Just understanding the playbook. I feel like that's where I've grown the most since last season. So.
Now in your second season with Coach Golden, how's that relationship changed?
We're building on it. Now I'm expected to know a little more, do a little more, things like that. So we're growing, both of us.
Being an experienced guy in that room now, how has that benefited you along with the younger guys?
Yeah, so I've been here for a few years, and now I'm able to help the young guys understand the playbook. So I'm able to teach it and that gives me a better understanding. So it's really beneficial for both of us.
How beneficial is it just that the playbook's the same for you 2 years in a row?
Absolutely, it hasn't changed. That's huge. You get comfortable with it. You get comfortable making checks and things like that, and doing the things you're expected to do. So you just get comfortable.
You talked about tutoring the younger guys. Where do you think you've helped them the most making the transition?
Really just the mental part of it. I feel like I've helped them the most because it's a lot. It's a lot to be a freshman here, and you just gotta find certain ways that you can understand the playbook and remember it, and that's what I feel like I've been helping them do.
And what's the biggest piece of advice you're giving them after the years of advice that you've been given?
Yeah, just don't break down after you make one mistake. You're going to get another chance, and you just got to make sure you don't make the same mistake twice. That's what I tell them.
Anything else for Prince?
Who's kind of stood out in front of you on the defensive line so far?
Defensive line, I'm kind of biased. Jason Anye, he's really stood out to me. They just can't block him. That's really it. That's really it. So.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Prince.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.